Hello my beautiful YouTube family. How are you all doing today? I am bringing you today all about Dermarolling. Now I told you guys in one of my recent videos that was all about skincare a little bit about Dermarolling, and many of you said please do a video just dedicated to that. So that's what I'm going to do today, is show you all about my Dermaroller and tell you what the experience I have had so far about it. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe by clicking the red button below. Hit the bell so you can be notified of any future videos I might be having. Okay, so I bought this Dermaroller off of Amazon. It is not very expensive. Dermarollers are not expensive unless you were to maybe buy one, I don't know, at a department store or something, but Amazon has them for really relatively cheap. My Dermaroller comes in this case right here, and it's just a plastic case to keep the needles from going anywhere and bouncing and maybe breaking or getting becoming dull. And so it has the case, and you open the case, and right inside of here is the actual Dermaroller. Mine is a 0.5 millimeter. You can see that right on the top there. It is a 0.5 millimeter Dermaroller. I choose to use a 0.5 because as I was reading all of the facts about Dermarolling, it really did say that for anything to be noticeable over time that you needed to go 0.5 or deeper. 0.25 is not quite a deep enough Dermaroll to effect a change in your skin's texture. And that's basically what Dermarolling does. Now I don't know if I can get this close enough for you guys to see, but I'm sure gonna try. So basically what it is all across there, it has 100+ little teeny tiny needles on it. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. I'm sure that it's probably really hard to see, but I was hoping that you guys could see it. So those little teeny tiny needles actually pierce the skin, and they create micro tears in your skin. Now when you hear the word micro tear, you think, oh my goodness, would that cause damage to my skin? Would it be something that would not be good for my skin? Now what you need to know is our body has its natural healing process, and we all understand what that is. Someone breaks a bone, they get a cut, the body goes into action really quickly to go straight to that area and begin to repair it. It's just a miracle that we can do all of those things naturally, and that our bodies have that capacity built right into it to be able to repair itself. And that's what the premise of this is. Now I'm going to tell you a really quick story before I go into too much more about this. My son had, when he was 18, he was having a lot of trouble with his foot and his ankle, and we couldn't figure out why. It was really, he was not able to put any weight on it. There was just so much pain with it, and he just really had a lot of problems with it. And after they did an MRI on the foot, they found that the very inner bone, called the talus bone, part of that bone had actually died, and it was just causing him so much pain because it's in the middle of the foot, so every time he would step on it, it would hurt him so bad. So what they did was they went in laparoscopically, and they cleaned out all of the calcified problem that was around it. But on that actual bone that had died, they put like over 100 little teeny micro drills in that bone all around it to act like a break almost. And then what happened was the body went in, and it came in and it healed that break. And basically what it did is it animated that bone again, or it made that bone come to life again. And the way that it did that was the blood was being delivered to it, and then the white blood cells, and then the collagen, and all of the repairs that happened, and it knitted itself. So that's kind of the same process that we're talking about here, is that when you use the Dermaroller, you are actually making those micro tears, and you're telling the body, go ahead and repair that area. And what it does is it actually stimulates that area to bring blood there, to bring collagen there, all of the healing things that we need in order to repair a tear or a break. So with the Dermarolling, this is how I actually use it. I use it across my forehead in my deep lines across my forehead. I have expression lines, 11s, right here in between my eyes. I have some really bad crow's feet right over here on my eyes from just laugh lines across here. And then I also have some smile lines across my top lip that drive me absolutely crazy. So the process of doing the Derma roller, I have a spray bottle that I just picked up at Walmart and I filled with plain rubbing alcohol. And I just go ahead and I spray that. I just go ahead and I spray that Derma roller, and then I let it dry completely, because if you go in with alcohol on a tear or a cut, you're going to hurt yourself. So I let it dry completely so that it's completely sanitized before I start anything. You have to have an extremely clean face. So I would double cleanse my face, use my cellar water on it to make sure everything is off of it, and then you go ahead and splash your face with water and then let it dry, and then start this. Then what it tells you to do, and I'm not going to do this today because I have a full face of makeup on. I could do it for you, but basically what happens is your skin gets really red. Okay, I'll go into that in a second. Okay, so the first thing that you do is you find wherever you're going to be doing it. So let's say I'm doing it on my 11s. And actually this Derma roller is wide enough that it can encompass both of those. So you go up and down 5 times, across 5 times, diagonally and diagonally in an X across the area 5 times for the count of 5. So you would actually be going over this area 20 times. And then across, you do the same thing across your any other wrinkles you have. So across the forehead, we'd go back and forth 5 times in the deep wrinkles, and then we'd go up and down, and then we'd go in a diagonal X across there. And then of course across the lips, I'm not going to lie to you guys, when you first do this, this hurts. It's not like it's not painful. It's not like super pain, like when you get a shot at the doctor's, it's not like that, but you can definitely tell that you're doing something. The only thing is that after a few seconds of doing it, like after the first 2 swipes, you really don't feel it as much. So I don't worry about it. I actually do epilating on my legs where, you know, the epilator actually pulls the hair out of your legs so you don't have to shave as much. So to me it reminds me a lot of that. So if you've ever done epilating or waxing, it actually kind of reminds me of that. So just so you know, I go back and forth about 7 or 8 times because it's a little bit harder to go up and down and a little bit harder to go crisscross on that. But again, you go into the eye area, and I actually do bring it pretty darn close to the eye. I go underneath the eye even. I don't push real hard on this area because it is super sensitive. And just again, just go across there and up and down a little bit and up and down. And on my lip and on my forehead, I use quite a bit of pressure, but around my eyes, I don't use as much pressure. So, and especially when I'm right underneath my eyes. Now, you might be saying, you're nuts, woman. You know, you cannot go underneath your eye and actually create micro tears. Well, you can. It just depends on your pain tolerance level, and it depends on how much of a result you want to have. Now, after you're done with it, again, spray that thing, make sure it's really, really clean, and put it away immediately, because you don't want to put it down on any other surface except for this, because you're going to dull the needle. Now, I think I read that you need to buy a new one after it's like something like 20 uses or something like that. I can't remember. I'll try to list that in the description box of how many uses you can get out of one of these. But at $10, I don't feel like that's too bad, especially when, okay, here's the thing. When you're using a 0.5 millimeter Derma roller, you should only be using it every 3 weeks. And the reason is because our body has to have time to repair. Now, when you think about a cut on you, if you get a deep enough cut, it's actually going to take that long for the scab to completely go away, because it will scab over within the first day or 2, but it takes a long time for that dead scab to slough away, and then for you to have the skin underneath. And then even after that, your skin underneath can sometimes be a little bit sensitive. So the thinking on it is give your skin enough time to completely repair itself before you do the next derma rolling. guidelines. So they said absolutely no more than every 3 weeks on the 0.5. Now if you step up to the 0.75 or the 1.0, I think there's even bigger guidelines. I will try to list an article below where I found all of this information from so that you guys can know about that. The other thing that really can help this system work is that you use your serums like right after you do this. So it's something like 5 minutes that you have after you do your Dermarolling in order for you to be able to put your serums on. And then they go really deep into the skin and they get really deep down into the dermis, and they can do a much better job than they could, because sometimes our serums are a little bit too big of a molecule to be able to pierce the barrier of our skin, just our pores. So that is everything that I have learned so far. I have found that all of these things that I'm doing lately, I feel like my skin is just doing this 180 and this turnaround, and it's looking so much better, and I'm so pleased with the results. Dermarolling is a part of that. I have had this for about 3 to 4 months now, so I would say that I've used it about 5 times. Have I noticed a difference? I think so. And I definitely can feel those serums go in. When you have a little pinprick and you feel, you know, like a little bit of salt go in that or something, then you definitely know that it's going down into the skin, and that's the feeling that you'll get with this. Make sure you clean it before you use it and after you use it. If you guys have any more questions that I haven't covered, please ask them in the comment section below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Dermarolling is easy. It's not that big of a deal. It's inexpensive, and it's a great way to deliver your skincare products. So I hope that you enjoyed it. You guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in my very next video. Bye, you guys.